It's ingrained into me. Now here you are in the pit lane. This is from the driver's eye view. It's incredibly low and close to the ground. You see, now you release the speed lane limiter. You're accelerating out of the pit lane, up into second, third, fourth, fifth gear, using the curb on the right-hand side on a racing line, down into second gear for the Dunlop S. Now this is a very tricky corner because, as you can see, it's uphill and also the camber of the road falls away from you. Third gear, underneath the bridge, and then down into the actual S's themselves. Fourth, and then fifth gear. Braking hard here. The car always wants to keep turning right, but you need to make it turn left. You need to get in there. The car understeers. You brake fourth gear and then accelerating towards Tete Rouge. Very, very critical corner. Very, very fast entry now. And you've got to make sure that the 140 mile an hour, 145 mile an hour exit is critical for your straight line speed at the end of the straight. Now you're on the first part to the Mulsanne. Now you've taken top gear. Now you can relax. Now you can look at the steering wheel. Make sure all of the data is correct. Make sure there's no alarms. Speak to your engineer if you have to. Get some response before stealing yourself, before coming up to the braking point for this first chicane. Braking hard just after the 200 metre board, down into third gear. Now you've been doing 220 miles per hour. You come into this corner and you're actually only doing about 100 in the mid corner. You accelerate hard, again trying to get the maximum exit. Let the car run free, fourth and then fifth gear, coming down towards the second chicane. Another point, just to be very careful. Crossing the crown of the road, you have to do it at a certain point, otherwise the car drowns out. If you do that for 24 hours, you'll damage the bottom of it. Here the braking point is tricky in the night because it's just in between two zones. Down into third, the car always understeers you. You never get the front in, you never feel comfortable, but you have to do it precisely and correctly every time. Now we're coming up to the hump. Now this used to be a big jump over where the car would go like, now it's a little bit easier on you. Into the Mulsanne corner. Very difficult corner because suddenly you lose all feeling of efficiency. You're coming from 200 miles an hour down into about 55, 60 miles per hour, and you don't have the sensation of the grip underneath you. Before you accelerate out third, fourth, fifth gear, going through the small kinks down towards Indianapolis. One of my favourite sections on the whole circuit. That is what you see at night. That sun coming into your eyes, going from the contrast of not being able to see into the darkness of the trees. Down into third gear for this left-hander. Now you came through the previous one at 170 miles per hour. You're trying to stop the car into the left, and then suddenly you come to Arnage. One of the hardest corners on this track because it is so slow, because your brain is going so fast all the other points, and then suddenly you've got to go at 50 miles per hour. Suddenly you've got to be delicate and get a clean exit before accelerating down towards the Porsche curves. Now these are real men's corners. They're very, very fast, in at 200 miles per hour, down a gear, quickly in towards the apex on the right-hand side, flat out on fourth gear, up into fifth. Now we're doing about 180 miles per hour. The road looks very narrow, the Armco barrier is very close, keeping in towards that right-hand white line. Don't touch the grass, you'll be off. Into fifth gear, through the chicane. Now you've only got two corners to go, the Ford chicane, and this is a very difficult one. You can gain everything or you can lose everything just by braking too late here. Down to third gear, run the curve on the left, run the curve on the right. Try to keep over to the right to get a good clean exit out of the last one. Hit the curve on the left, hit the curve on the right. Wide open throttle in third gear, fourth, fifth, over the line. That's 3 minutes 23 and over 8.5 miles done.